Hi folks, welcome to Bargain Brain. My name's David, and today I'm going to show you how to take advantage of some unwanted content from one project in Udio and transform it to create a short outro for a YouTube channel. To do this, we're going to use three main Udio strategies. Number 1. Recognizing when a failed experiment has unexpected potential. Number 2. Using part of some existing lyrics as an anchor when inpainting to make your changes while preserving more of what you like from the original. We'll be doing this with lyrics, but it works for instrumental phrases and even sound effects. Number 3. Using extend optionally, and then trim and inpaint or edit to perfect your song's beginning and end. There's always lots more to pick up on depending on your level of skill using Udio, but these are the things I'll focus on. I'm going to assume you're familiar with Udio and that you have a paid Udio account. If you're using a free account, you won't have access to some features, including the Inpaint and Edit feature, which I'll be using here quite a bit. And just to be clear, while I am a trusted tester in the Udio beta program, I don't work for Udio, and my opinions are just mine. We'll start with what inspired me in the first place. I was remixing a particular section of the song Party of Two from my D&D album, trying to get a deeper voice for a second singer.
I am a meat shield, and
this is what I had.
Heal, I can take a lot of arrows.
This is what I ended up with.
And I have an advantage in soaking up damage when the enemies are coming in whole.
That's Evan at the controls, by the way. Now that took a lot of work, and I ended up with a lot of stuff I didn't need. Most of it I either deleted or just ignored, but one thing stood out.
I am a meat shield, and well, probably healed. I
can take a lot of arrows
and swords, and I have.
That voice reminded me of a character from 1984 movie TRON. There's this little shape guy that just says yes or no all the time. I think he's called Bit. Super cute. Anyway, I don't think the voice is exactly the same, but that's the inspiration. That's what I was reminded of, and I like the voice. So before I decided on this project, I was actually trying to use that voice through extending tracks in order to create some kind of song using the voice. And so I'll go over to Udio now. What I did next is I thought this voice is kind of nostalgic for me. It kind of has an 80s electronic robot feel, and I want to use it in a song. So I just dashed off some lyrics and threw it together.
And I fashion to get him back. Yes, and I. We wanna thank you for your purchase of this internet spoon.
Okay, no, wasn't good. So I did play around with it a bit more. I kind of got something that I liked the sound of better, but I still wasn't loving the song.
And I fashion to get him back. Yes, and I.
So I kind of like that, and I liked about the voice, it says a lot of gibberish there. What can I do with it besides the Internet Spoon song, which isn't working? I love the way it says, yes and I.
Yes and I.
So what I was thinking is, my channel is Bargain Brain, and a lot of what I go by online is Bargain Brain AI. So I can change this to Yes AI, and then I can change it to Bargain Brain AI. And I could try and change it all at once, but that is usually not as successful, and that's one of the tips I want to go over here. If you change bits of things at a time, you're going to be more successful in keeping that vibe and that sound that you like from the original. So I pull up what I worked on next, which is in the outro folder. This was sort of a first initial attempt here. It's actually identical to the last one I played, except I've cut off some lyrics that begin talking about spoons again. So the first thing I wanted to do is go into YT Practice, and I want to look at the lyrics that are written. Now you can see there's a bunch of stuff from the old Hank song, and then we got some spoon stuff, really great lyrics down here, but none of this applies anymore, so I'm going to wipe it out. We're doing some inpainting. We want the lyrics to match, and we can do this when we do the inpainting, but it's kind of nice to take a starting point and get it really clear. I'm going to basically erase everything, and I'm going to write down the lyrics that are actually here. I know it says yes and I. Before that, there's some garbage, and what I want to do is I want to write down that garbage as close to what I can hear, and that's going to help Udio understand where I am inside of the lyrics in order to do the inpainting more effectively. Okay, so I've made these modifications. I have yes and I instrumental. So now I'm going to edit the song details again, but I need to listen to the song, and I'm going to try and concentrate on what those lyrics sound like.
And I fashion to get him back. Yes and I.
Okay, so let's edit the song details. So I think I heard, and then it goes into the instrumental. So I'm gonna go with that for our lyrics. I'm gonna save that. All right, and let's listen to it again and see if that kind of fits. Just watch the lyrics while I play.
In that fashion to Kate, hit me back. Yes, and I.
Close enough. Okay, so that's going to give us something to pin off of. So from there, we're going to come back and we're going to actually do the inpainting. So what I'm going to do is select with star, 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 and star, star, star. Remember I said I wanted to keep that sort of yes and I sound, but I want it to say AI instead of yes and I. So let's hear where that is.
Yes, and I.
Okay, so it basically starts here, yes and I here. So I want to cover everything, but I want to keep the I sound.
Yes, and I.
Okay, so what we're going to do is listen here, right from the very end.
I.
Okay, I got a nice I sound there, so I want to keep that. And so at the beginning, we still have all this other stuff. Now, I don't want to do too many changes. I can actually add more regions here. I could make another region, and I could select all of this and change it, or try to change it to something else. I don't want to do that right now for a couple of reasons. The first one being, if I change that now, it doesn't have it as a reference. So with this left in here, now when it changes it to AI here, it's going to have more of the voice that I want to reference and to understand what it sounds like. So you want to keep that in. I'm not going to do it now because I've already done this, and we ended up with this.
In that fashion to Kate, hit me back. AI.
That's pretty good. I kind of like that. So we look at that.
AI.
So we got a nice pause, AI. So now I'm thinking, okay, I want it to say bargain brain, AI. Oh, and before I move on, actually, before I would have run this on the Inpaint, I would actually want to change this. I think I already changed it here, so let's have a look. Yeah, pause, AI. So that's how I had changed it previously. Putting the word pause in square brackets is a really decent way to get the engine to know you actually want to take a little silent break away from usually lyrics. Generally lyrics it will take a break from. Sometimes it can work with music depending on the context. So we go to edit, right click, edit, and Inpaint. And it's the same as what we see if we go to ... edit, Inpaint. Okay, and we're gonna put the stars here, and and the other stars are gonna go after that. So what I'm gonna do now is clear this, and then I'm gonna listen to where I want to add bargain brain. So I have AI, should be right here.
AI.
So I'm gonna change that because that's possible to change. So I'm gonna change that to bargain brain. And again, I've already done this, and so I'm just gonna play the result from when I did this before.
In that fashion to Kate, hit me bargain brain. AI.
So I like it. And then this is what came out of, there's a couple here, you see generations. This is the one I hearted so that we hear what it sounds like.
Bargain brain. AI.
So from here, I have pretty much everything I need. It's just thinking, how long do I want this to be as an outro? How do I want it to end? Do I want it to fade out? Do I want it to stop suddenly? I'm gonna pretend that I want even more time to end this. Okay, just so we can go through what that's like, what that section's like. And maybe it's actually true. I haven't done this yet, so we're gonna do this now and see how it turns out. What we're gonna do is do an extend on that to extend the instrumental portion. And then I'm gonna think about how long I really do want it to go, and I'm gonna trim back to that length. And then I'm gonna use inpainting to inpaint the very end of where I want it to actually sort of transition from playing the music to ending the song. But first, I'm just going to add a section, because right now I just want to add more time. I don't actually want 32 more seconds. What I'm going to do is try to pre-plan about how long I feel like I want it to be. So I'm going to extend by 32 seconds because that's the shortest you can extend. Then I'm going to trim it back, and then I'm going to do some inpainting. So right now I'll just do that extend. I kind of like that, and I could imagine like an ending where it goes beep boop maybe at the end. I don't know if we can get that, but let's see. I'm going to actually take this and start a new folder so that I don't get too confused. So I'm going to create a folder here, and I'm going to say ending. I'm going to rename this as well, because this is a, that's a hell of a name. So we're going to say YouTube outro ending. I'm going to put that there. And we're going to be doing a trim and then an Inpaint. So let's save that. Go out of this. And from here, I'm going to trim it. I know about where I wanted to end it. So I'm going to go into that edit trim. I don't want that drum to be in my final ending, but I could imagine going dip and ending like that. In order to do that, I'm going to need to give it a little bit more time than this. Yeah, I ignored that drum beat in my mind. You couldn't probably see that on the video, but I was ignoring the drum beat and just thinking that if it were to continue, can I feel it kind of fading out and sounding like a nice ending. All right, so here we are. We have we've painted this ending. I haven't listened to this yet, so let's hear it together. Nope, didn't like that. Okay, so it didn't do what I wanted. I'm actually going to throw a few in here. So what I've done is I've gone in and I've done a little bit of experimenting. I generated a bunch of things and I threw out the ones that didn't work. So first of all, I got one that kind of works. Okay, very abrupt, but it sort of did what I wanted. Now I got this one here. Okay, so I'm not sure what's going on there, except that I know it has to do with the fact that I wrote at the end of the song. You can find some really interesting stuff in how it interprets you sometimes. That one, not so much, but I'll go into this directory. There's just one song here. I want to show you what it sounds like. Okay, pretty much exactly what I'm looking for. So I'm going to trim that, and I'm going to put it at the end of this video. Thanks for watching, and if you want to support me, please check out my newly released or soon to be released album, depending on when you're seeing this. It's called Advanced Drums and Dragons. It's a bunch of funny, fun, and sometimes touching songs inspired by Dungeons and Dragons. I'll put the link in the description here. Hey Evan, let's play that outro.
Bargain Brain AI.